right, everybody, how is it going? It's another Monday, and tonight it is filled with the Bad Batch and a special Bracket Madness surprise. We finally got the whole gang back together. One of us is on hotel internet, and one of us is just holding on by a thread. Who is it? We'll yet to find out when Wes punches it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Living Force, a UTD Network podcast all about the Bad Batch and the madness of books in March. I'm one of your hosts, Eric Eilerson, and joining me tonight is the full crew back together again, reunited like the Bad Batch never will be. Maybe. We'll find out. But joining me, of course, is all my best bad bitches to talk about the Bad Batch, starting off with the man returning triumphantly after umpteen weeks, Dr. Corey Helton. Hey, man.
Live to serve. Hello. How's everybody doing? It's been a long time. Literally weeks. I don't know. I'm in a hotel room. I know. Who are you?
Let's have an icebreaker. Everyone go around and just say something about yourself.
My fun fact is my internet's real laggy. That's all I got. Hopefully my sounds okay. That's all that really matters. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's been a really long time. I've missed you guys.
We've missed you too.
I'm glad to be back.
Missed you too, buddy. I'm glad you're here. And of course, who else is here? The man who always reminds us that good doctors follow orders. Dr. Charles Hankel.
Good doctors sign their orders, right, Corey? I'm glad that you're here, Corey, not just because you're my friend and I've missed you, but also because I don't like being the first one that we go to at the top of the show. You're really responsible for a lot of the energy and
it's a lot of pressure, I will say.
Yeah. If we're actually doing fun facts, can I also repeat the fun fact? Are we allowed to repeat fun facts? My internet is also laggy. Can I use that?
Excellent. That's so fun. That's why y'all tune in for unpredictable tech, but also unpredictable moments of greatness, of light, of love and joy. But none of those emotions are possible, of course, with the well of purity and goodness that flows throughout the entirety of the Living Force. It's Wes Jenkins. Hey, buddy.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Fun facts. My internet always works. You're welcome. To all three of you. And Corey, question for you. How low did you turn that thermostat when you got into that room?
Dude, 68, bro. 68.
As low as it could go.
As soon as I walked in the damn door, I turned that shit way down. Hopefully it doesn't crank way up in the middle of the show. But it's pretty frosty in here now.
As you do, yes. I mean, you get that thing down to like 60 and you just wear it. Even though you're freezing, you're just like, I'm never going to get this home because I'm afraid about what the bill's going to look like.
Well, everyone, you've learned quite a lot about Wes in that moment, and I guess Corey as well.
Take all the toiletries and take the toilet paper from the roll. They replace it. It's all right.
Take it all. It's probably at least half ply. Everyone else at home,
it's
though.
Terrible.
Whether you've stolen your toilet paper or bought it yourself, we're glad you're here. Welcome into the show. If you're watching us on video, make sure you're liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and if you're listening to us later in the week, I hope you're doing great. I promise not to do any jump scares tonight. I do apologize for last week to the couple folks that said they were listening in their car. My bad. But we're happy you're here. At the top of the show, we've been doing our Book Madness recap. If you're unfamiliar, Utini has been doing a Book Madness bracket throughout the month of March. We have had so many amazing matchups going through. We're going to go over those in a second. But before we get to those, tonight is a very, very, very special night. If you're watching us live, if you're listening to us later, you will already know this. But folks, we have in the bracket our first ever tie. That's right. We literally have a tie between Padawan by Kirsten White and the Han Solo trilogy by AC Crispin. Both of these have gotten 387 votes on all 4 platforms. So,
Wow.
tonight, we are going to have a 1-hour sudden death vote
Battle to the death.
across everyone. So on YouTube, Instagram, stories, Twitter, and Discord, as of right now, you can go and vote for Padawan and the Han Solo trilogy. This is open only for a single hour while this show is going live. I have just DM'd the glorious Amir, who is running this whole thing, to push those lives. They should be live momentarily. Go vote. This is it. This is exciting. We're gonna see live in an hour who wins. And yep, I got confirmation. They've all been posted, everybody. So go vote for Padawan or the Han Solo trilogy right now. This will be the next person, I believe, in the round of 16. I want to say. So yeah, fellas, since we're live here and just having a good time, who would we vote for in this? Charles, you're the easy vote. So let's just go.
Han Solo.
Because you hate Obi-Wan, famously.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. I will also second that. Han Solo trilogy, some of the first Legends books I remember reading as well. This is an obvious one for me. I definitely voted for Han Solo trilogy already in multiple places. It's
As-
allowed.
Maybe
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it again right now.
a few of you, if not all
Done.
of you, have probably already hinted at. I have not read the Han Solo trilogy, so I was going to pick Padawan 4 times, by the way. So
Oh man,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
just primarily based on I haven't read Han Solo trilogy yet.
Listen, all you need to know about the Han Solo trilogy,
preach it, do it.
orgasmic dinosaurs. That's all you need to know.
Orgasmic dinosaurs.
I was gonna say sex rhinos, but
Oh,
close
so
enough.
hot right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Fit Christo, thank you for the super chat of $5 to break the tie. We don't
Oh.
take bribes, but I like your try of it.
Hey, wait
wish
a
we
minute.
did.
Maybe we do take that.
Corey, you have
We
no.
should
We
probably-
took away Corey's power.
We should
took away
talk
Corey's
about it
power.
a little bit before we just don't take the bribe.
I will say my vote is also for the Han Solo trilogy. Padawan was a really fun read, but Crispin writes the best Han Solo period in period canon period and period legends period. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll tell you in the next hour who wins. Very exciting. I didn't think this was gonna mathematically happen. But make sure you're going on all of Discord, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter to get your votes in. Now, Wes, run us through some of our winners from this past week that are already done and are going to be moving on to the next round.
Okay, so we'll just breeze through here. Looks like the Darth Bane trilogy is cutting a rug through to the Sweet 16. They're dancing.
They're dancing, baby.
Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader, 516 to 169. Pretty handily. Pretty handily.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unsurprising.
The real question is, would Darth Bane handedly destroy Darth Vader like this vote?
Oh.
That'd be a fun
Oh,
conversation.
it's a huge maybe. It's a huge if Vader had stayed dark as long as Bane did, maybe. Also, shout out to Amir, who's running our poll. As I said, he also made all the art for all the pictures that you're seeing. And this one, if you look at this, you're like, yeah, that guy should win.
Yeah.
I would vote for that Sith Lord.
sure.
I think he
Yeah.
would destroy everything.
Very blown away. Next
That's
up
fair.
Yep.
That's fair.
is
Woo!
the High Republic, The Rising Storm, a 548 tally to X-Wing Rogue Squadron series, a whole series of books at 285. So The Rising Storm takes that pretty handily as well.
Check this
Yep.
out.
Solid
Checks
showing
out.
from Rogue
Yeah.
Squadron. Yeah. This
just
was
breezing
a
through.
great one. This is a great one.
Charles, do you agree? Kenobi 557 to Resistance Reborn 285.
I agree. I mean, I want to see Kenobi go as far as it can possibly go. I also love this image that Amir put together for this. And No Shade to Resistance Reborn. That is actually a great novel. I really enjoyed talking about that one with you guys. And I think it probably earned those 285 votes, but not the 558 that it needed.
Yeah, really good. But yeah, Kenobi's in our essential 6 for a reason. You know.
Yeah, great job, but do better.
Go back, make a second draft.
Here we
Ah,
go.
this one
Dark
cut me a little
Plagueis.
bit. I get it.
609 versus Aftermath Trilogy, which is only at 316. Another single book that defeats a trilogy or a series of books. 609 to 316. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think this was obvious. Darth Plagueis
Yeah.
is a freaking masterpiece.
It's so good.
It is.
It's so
I
good.
will say,
It's so
I
long
will
and it's
say,
so good.
as
know.
as Team Aftermath, 316 against Plagueis is way more than I thought I was going to get. I do love seeing in the succeeding years since Aftermath's release, I feel like it's gotten this kind of second life of people going back to read it after like the initial disappointment when it was released, since people have less expectations on kind of what it's about. So great showing, but yeah, Plagueis is. I mean, come on,
This is a
it's
fantastic
a
image, by the way.
it's a juggernaut. Yeah, no, this
Yeah,
For the
image is.
YouTube viewers, this is a fantastic image, especially
Yeah,
with
our-
light bouncing off his face.
Our friends at Legends Look Back tweeted out that it looks like Palpatine is saying, "Let's go!" in this image.
Oh man.
And that last image I got just for everybody is Thrawn 631, the original canon Thrawn, versus Labyrinth of Evil at 184.
Book, though.
Yeah.
Kind of saw this
Can't
one
stop
for
him.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. This is
So
the
it was
Barnes
like-
and Noble special edition cover image
Yeah, it
too,
is.
by the way.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, that
You
was
remember that?
beautiful.
It was black. It had a black background instead of white.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, this one will be done by the time this comes out on audio. Everybody, currently, one of the ultimate matchups of all time is happening. Lost Stars and the Legends Thrawn trilogy are going head to head as we speak. And oh man,
we already had an internal company discussion today about how like we're probably gonna get canceled because Lost Stars is probably gonna win. Then it's gonna be like, this is not our fault. This is a vote. We
It's a
have
vote.
nothing to do with this.
yeah, it's an exciting one. And I mean, that's the thing. As we keep going, these mashups are just going to get harder and harder and harder. So,
Yeah.
stay tuned,
Yeah.
everybody, for that. Quick update, even since we started doing this, Padawan and Han Solo are tied 50-50 on Twitter as we speak. Literally, break the ties.
Of course they
Text
are.
your
to God.
friends.
Yes,
Yes,
they are.
I know.
need new
I know
blood.
you're watching us live right now, and I love that. But please take a second. Go campaign. Go on Twitter. Go on Discord. Tell your stories. Help everybody out. So, love that. Thank you all for that, and we'll keep you posted. All right. Oh, God. I got so excited.
Okay.
I got so excited. So our little life update section now. Obviously, we haven't seen Corey in a while. I'm excited to hear what you've been up to, man. I do want to just take a quick second, though. Last week, I said, hey, I'm reading Mistborn for the first time. I like this a lot. Since then, I read the first book, and I bought the deluxe version of the second one, Well of Ascension, which is this gorgeous deluxe leather-bound hardcover from Brandon Sanderson's website directly. Dragon Steel, I think, is the publisher, which I also like that he's getting all the money for it, not that he needs $1 more. But yeah, guys, I'm obsessed with this world now. I'm into it. I finished all of Mistborn on Sunday in a binge, and I started this immediately, and it's one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen.
That was
So
a good looking book for sure.
that's it for me.
It has,
Yeah.
it has red lettering. Tell us about the tell me about the lettering.
It's like so you know how like in the Bible, whenever Jesus speaks, it's in red. Some of y'all got that.
Oh
this
man,
one-
that's funny.
It's amazing that at the beginning of every chapter, there's like the first couple of words are in caps lock and they're written in red. I don't know if you can see it much on the video, but it's in like there's red coloring in all of the symbols. There's giant maps in the front, and there's like doubly large maps, and there's covers from all the other versions of the book over the last 10 years, and like it's just a fantasy geek's dream. So if you're a Sanderson fan, or if you've read one book like me and are now realizing it's gonna become your whole personality again, highly recommend. I make a decent amount of frivolous purchases in my life, but I was telling the guys beforehand, this is the first one that I bought that I'm like, you know what? For the craftsmanship of what it is, this actually is worth the price. It's cheaper than some of the exclusive Star Wars editions, frankly. And yeah, he does it for a lot of his books, so highly recommend that. And JG, great question. Is there a reason for the red lettering? Nope. It's not any like certain characters speak in red or anything that I've seen just yet. I do believe there is one of his deluxe books where a god character speaks in purple as I was doing my research, but not so far in this one. I'm only 5 chapters in, so Well of Ascension. I'm obsessed and I'm loving it.
Eric, do they make Mistborn Funkos? Have you ever looked into that?
God dang it. I don't think so, but
You got more shelves to put on that wall, Eric.
Kelsier, the character from Mistborn, was in Fortnite though, which was wild.
Are you
I looked that up.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Only
has not been
literary
in Fortnite
character
at this
to
point?
be in Fortnite. Mistborn
I don't know.
Funko
They should-
Pop.
That
They should-
upsets me
they
more than it
should-
should.
They should
Nope.
like leave some major plot details for a Star Wars film in Fortnite. That'd be a good idea.
That'd be great. That'd be. Hey Sanderson, you can hide your next Cosmere in Fortnite. It'd be great.
There you go.
Yeah, that's me. Having a great time. Read Star Wars. Read non-Star Wars. Read all kinds of books. It's good for you. Corey, what's up?
Yes.
What have
How
you
you
been
been?
Yeah. Hello. I have not been here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, guys. I just counted. Oh man, what have I been doing? Well, I don't look it now because I'm hungover as all hell from yesterday, which I'll talk about. But I am like loving life, honestly, guys, right now. I mean, like, my work schedule is really fun. Like, I do a little bit of traveling. I just got back from Charleston for a wedding. We had a good time. Remember I told you guys that Chase Travel screwed me over and they messed up my hotel and I was going to lose a whole bunch of money. Well, I fought with them today and got that money back, so that's good.
Oh, that's one of your favorite
I-
things. You
Nice.
you
I know.
legitimately love getting refunds.
I do. I love getting refunds, especially when I've been wronged. Love to give it to
Yes.
the man. But I think the biggest thing I've been doing a lot lately is the sim racing thing. You guys have heard me talk about the sim rig and doing that stuff, and I'm having so much fun with that. I'm having so much fun. In fact, I haven't even showed you guys this because I wanted it to happen on the show. I may or may not have brought
A baby sim
portable.
Oh my god.
I applaud you, sir.
That's incredible.
I know. I have an entire separate bag for my Dr. Travels now for a wheel and pedals and my laptop, and I can set it up in sim race in a hotel. So I'm
I
having so much fun
love
with
that
that.
for you. I love that so
It's
much.
not gonna-
That's great.
I know. I never thought that I'd be as into racing as this is, and this is insane. I'm just obsessed with it. Like, it's physics and cars and oh man, I've already started getting targeted advertisements for like Porsche and stuff now. I'm like, oh my god, this is really bad. This is a
You're gonna be a
very
Porsche
expensive
guy.
hobby.
Yeah.
I never thought this was gonna happen. This is too expensive of a hobby. This is like not usually my jam. So
If you like racing at home, try racing in real life.
I know, I know. That's why I built the sim rig in the first place. Is Caitlin was like, so you never can do real race cars. I hope you realize that, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're totally right. I'm gonna build
Yeah,
a really fancy simulation one instead. Nope, it's gonna happen one day.
You're gonna get a custom racer helmet with like, but it's gonna be like Wedge's helmet. But it's gonna be, and so you're gonna race cars, and it's gonna be great.
Oh my god, that sounds fantastic.
If you were on
Next time-
video, you should have seen Corey's smile that just went over his face.
Yeah, he's thinking about it.
I know.
The next
am.
time we get together, we need to go like go-kart racing.
Oh my god.
Oh my
yes.
god, yes, please.
That
That'd
sounds
be so much
amazing.
fun.
Corey's
There's
gonna be like,
some
"Can I have the
really good ones
manual?
in North
Sorry, this is
Carolina.
automatic."
Corey's
I have a better-
Tokyo drifting, and the rest of us are just chugging along.
Oh man, there's a couple ones pretty close to Asheville. That sim racing bar I told you I was part of for a little while. I haven't been back because of all the traveling, but they go like once a quarter or something and race together and stuff. And it's not far. I think like 2 hours from Asheville, so it's probably Charlotte. Honestly, I bet it's in
I
Charlotte.
was
Isn't there
about
like
to
a
say-
Charlotte
I was
Motor
gonna say, we
Speedway?
are
I think
too.
there is.
There is the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I've been there.
Okay, yeah, all right.
All right, well, we're planning.
Why have
This
you
is what
been
it is,
there?
everyone.
Why have you
This is
been
what
there?
our
I have to
group
know
chat
now.
looks like.
One of my friends came to town who's big into racing, and he took me along to a race.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's the end of
what
that
a hearing
story.
is, actually. Not the best place to go and have a conversation. You know, you don't go there and catch up on things.
No. Would you go
It's
there
a lot
with
of
guys?
this. It's a
Oh,
lot of
man.
like.
Yeah. So you're telling me you can go with guys you talk to every day and on video for 2 hours a week, and you've run out of stuff to talk about?
Yes.
Oh, cool. That sounds fun.
It was probably easier for us just to keep talking in Slack, even when we're there. I mean, it'll just be the same.
Just bring it up. Love that. Well, we're glad to have you back, man. Missed you like crazy, and I'm glad.
Yeah,
that
thank you.
Cardi's
Thank
going like
you.
crazy. It's really fun.
Yeah, I have a lot of hotels here the next couple weeks, so I think I can make this work as long as as long as it's somewhat predictable. So
Yeah. Well,
see.
next week,
Hopefully I won't have to miss for a little while.
it's your first roundtable. Next week.
Yes, it is my first roundtable running a thing. I still have to finish the book. I'm not quite done with it, as typical for my brand.
You got time.
And I'm almost done. I only got like 2 hours left of the audiobook, and yeah, ChatGPT is going to be very useful. Let's just say that.
Write prompts for us. That's gonna be great.
Oh, you laugh. Let's moving on.
So what about the guy who does not have to write prompts for next week? Charles, how's your week been, man?
Well, it was good until I realized that AI can replace my biggest contribution to this podcast over the past 200 episodes. But, no, it's been good. It was a good week. My parents came to visit, which was really nice. It'd been too long since I'd seen them, so we just kind of hung out around Charlotte and ate and drank and did all those fun things. And then since then, I've gotten into a new TV show that Eric, I know you've watched and finished already because you consume media like a black hole of I don't even know. Shrinking on Apple TV Plus. I admittedly watched the trailer because of Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is in this show, and he plays a wonderful version of himself. Just the right amount of goofy and curmudgeon-y, and exactly probably what you would expect from Harrison Ford. And he's masterful. I think I'm 7 episodes through out of the 10. It's Jason Segel, who's Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. I guess is like one of the biggest things people know. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, all that good stuff. It is really, really good. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, and it's also written and created by the same folks that made Ted Lasso. So if you're Ted Lasso fans out there, same kind of tone. Like, it's funny, it's a little dark, but it's got a lot of love behind it. I love that show. Absolutely loved it. Watched 6 episodes in a day. Like you said, it's crazy.
They're only 30 minutes. It's not, a lot of their shows are longer form, but that one it's very short, sweet, and to the point.
Yep. Love that, man. Not an ad. Hashtag not a sponsor. Hashtag could be a sponsor. Eric@etn.com. Let me know.
A sponsor.
Wes, how about you, dude? How's your week? How you doing?
The week was good. I took off on Friday, ended up working till 3, so that was neat. And then I left.
Sucks.
I decided to leave the city.
You decided to leave on your day off? Good for you, man.
Finally. I went down to the coast, the Gulf Coast of Matagorda, and we went fishing on Saturday. We were out there for a good 4 or 5 hours, and I caught nothing. I lost money because I paid for shrimp to be put on a hook, and I didn't catch a thing. But my
Could have
buddy,
just eaten shrimp.
my buddy caught a fish, and he liked to rub it in my face, and so we ate it for lunch that day. It was fantastic. So I got home on Saturday afternoon, and I called Bethany, my girlfriend, and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she goes, "I am watching Clone Wars." And I was like,
Let's
What?
go!
she's like, do not underestimate my ability to binge. And I was like, holy crap, you're going through the Clone Wars. And I was like, I can't believe you're even going through season 1. I mean, you don't even really get good until season 3. And then so
Season 2, episode 5, landing at Point Range.
That's always the one.
So yeah, I kind of have that on in the background every once in a while. It's just I had it up on yesterday, and I'm enjoying it all over again. So yeah, I told you she has to watch that first before she watches Kenobi, so she understands.
That's big. Such a
is
special
big.
moment.
Man,
Taking
Clone
someone
Wars.
you care about through Star Wars. It's the best.
Yeah,
Just the
especially
best.
Clone Wars. That's such a journey too. Like,
Yeah.
I've not. I need to rewatch. I don't think I've watched a single episode of Clone Wars in like 2 or 3 years. It seems like.
Yeah. It's really fun just to go back, because similarly, I haven't gone to it since probably just a little after season 7 got done when we were bounty hunting it, and it is just such a comfort to go back and to see some of those episodes from way back when. So, hey, if you're listening, you haven't watched Clone Wars, do it, first of all. But if you have, watch it again. Throw on an episode on your lunch break or something. Remember how good it is and have a good time. But nothing in Clone Wars, though, will be as good as the feeling you get from joining Patreon at patreon.com/Youtini. That's right. Over at patreon.com/Youtini, you can join such noted patrons as Ivy, who became a monthly patron yesterday, Sunday the 26th. Thank you so much. Welcome. Speaking of Patreon on Sunday the 26th, Corey, what happened on Patreon on Sunday, March 26th?
I forgot. I said I was going to bring it up. I just casually dropped that I'm incredibly hungover in my intro, and then didn't follow up on that.
No one questioned it.
Actually, I know. I actually have a doctor with a drinking problem. That's actually all it is. I mean, nothing else to say.
You're a drinker with a medicine problem.
Yes. That's right. Exactly. That's not true. Yesterday, Emma and I, for her birthday and our Patreon event, we've decided to do, everybody in Living Force, we all take one quarterly Patreon event because we want to do more stuff for the Patreon because it's fun to do something kind of out of the box. And we decided that we were going to watch, and drink while watching the holiday special. Oh man, we had a lot. Emma said that she woke up at like 3 p.m. today and was just like dead. And I think I took like 2 or 3 Zofran last night to keep from throwing up. It was awful. I'm too old to do drinking Patreon events now. Oh man, that is painful. It is genuinely a mind-blowing experience that the holiday special even exists. And we watched the whole thing. I don't think I've watched the whole thing in one sitting before. I've seen it bits and pieces, but it's weird, guys. It's real weird. There's porn right in the middle of it. Like it's this whole scene, like this, like it's very heavily insinuated that this guy's like showing this Wookiee pornography. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna love this. Just trust me." Oh, it's real creepy. He's like, "Just trust me. You're gonna love this." And he puts him. He's like, What do you think of that? It's just like, bro, dude, I don't like that creepy
It's
uncle
a real
energy.
bad time.
Man, it sucks, dude. It freaking sucks. I just can't believe it exists. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. If you're a patron, we're gonna upload. We got to figure out where we're gonna put it because it's technically like copyrighted, so I can't just put it anymore. Even though the whole thing is already on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure
and even
out
though Lucas
where to put it.
completely disavows it, it's still still pay me for it though. If you're gonna want it.
I know. Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
what a
so
travesty.
we got to figure out where to put it. But if you're a patron, we will find somewhere to put it, and we'll post it on Patreon. You can get to it. So, yeah.
Well,
good time.
I'm proud of you, man. Thanks for taking that bullet for us. Now, in addition to that, we do have 2 Patreon announcements, which is great. We don't always have this Patreon news, but we told you this was going to be a big year for y'all. So 2 things. Number 1, for fans of Star Wars Archives, our additional show that we put on the Utini Patreon, and then 3 months later, we release it to the public. Exciting news! As of April 23rd, we're going to be changing that 3-month gap between Patreon release and general public release. Going forward, when each new episode goes out to Patreon, the previous episode will then go out to general release, allowing everyone to enjoy the episodes, exclusive interviews, analysis, chaos, much, much sooner. So, in order to smooth this transition, we're going to be celebrating the build-up to Star Wars Celebration. Sorry, I am reading this. The build-up to Star Wars Celebration by releasing an episode a day for 7 days straight, so the week of archives, starting on Sunday, April 2nd. So you can take a look at the schedule. You're going to get an Andor analysis with Chris Kempshaw. You're going to get the 2023 release schedule. You're going to get the Lost Jedi Adventure game books and an interview with Paul Cockburn. You're going to get a Thrawn trilogy reaction. You're going to talk about the Rebels comics. You're going to get Force stuff, March Madness. All that to say, keep an eye on your Patreon feeds and your general Star Wars Archives feeds, April 2nd and on. And then at the end of the month, you're going to start getting our Archives episodes much faster. So congratulations. We love that show. And for Trevor and Jose, keep up the great work over there. And additionally, we have a community event coming up in April, which is like a couple days away, which is insane. So the Utini Cosplay Showcase. This is an event that's going to be dedicated to Star Wars cosplay and inspired by or steal their look outfits. If you guys are fans of these trends we keep seeing. We want to showcase the talent in the Utini and Star Wars communities, especially with Celebration right around the corner. It's like in a week or 2. So whether you're in London, whether you're at home, we want to celebrate you. And here's the info that you're going to need about that. Share your work in Discord in the Utini Cosplay event channel beginning on April 1st. Book Madness has been an event channel. This will also similarly be in an event channel in our Discord in Utini Cosplay. Or you can use hashtag Utini Cosplay in social media, Twitter, Instagram, the whole thing. Go ahead and just post your cosplays, and then each week on Living Force and Legends Look Back, we're going to shine a spotlight on some of our favorites and celebrate your craftness. There's going to be a little bit more fun later in the month. We'll get to that. But overall, we just can't wait to see your takes on Star Wars, the galaxy, all month long. If you have any questions, head over to the Discord, DM Timothy. He's running this whole thing. And a special shout out to our very old Alexander for helping out with the whole idea. I'm very excited about this. Star Wars cosplay is such a huge part of this community, especially around Celebration. I keep seeing folks talking about some of their High Republic cosplay they're going to be doing. So show that off. Hashtag UTD cosplay and join the UTD cosplay events channel in Discord starting April 1st. Whew. All right. I think that's all the news. That's news there. Oh, wait, no. We have one more, but it belongs in the Star Wars Weekly Roundup.
It's the Star Wars Weekly Roundup.
All right, much to our surprise, this morning we got a drop on the Disney Junior YouTube channel where we got the first 3 shorts for the Young Jedi Adventures. That's right, the High Republic kids show that's coming out dropped 3 of these shorts, and no shade, no nothing. Did any of you guys watch these this morning?
Missed it.
No.
I watched part of when we were talking about it before the show. I pulled up the video and watched like the first 30 seconds of it. The animation looks fantastic. Like,
yeah.
This is fun. We've been we were talking about that too before, and that's like Star Wars has a kid show. Like, this is finally here. It's like very much a kid show. It's like even more so than like Resistance. Like, you can look at this in 1 second and immediately understand the age group that it's for, and I really like that. Like,
yeah. It's really fun, and I will say, so go on the Disney Junior YouTube channel. They're like 2.5 minutes long. They just introduce you to these characters, and I gotta say, as I was watching it, like exactly what you said, Corey, like they know their audience so well, but also the craft in the episode is great. The animation does look awesome. The motion, the color, the all the characters are voiced by actual kids, except for Nubs, who's our glorious blue boy, who is, of course, voiced by D. Bradley Baker, making weird noises. And they're doing great. They actually sound like real younglings just hanging out. It's going to be a ton of fun. One of the shorts has a Tuca kitty in it, and it's adorable. So if you have, obviously, young kids, no question, easy. But even as an adult, throw them on. See if they're going to be your thing. We've talked a lot, and we're going to talk later in this episode, about the odd tonal whiplash we've had with some of the Star Wars shows of like, who are these for? What does it do? So you don't really know what to expect. I do not see that being a problem with the Young Jedi Adventures here. So know what it is. Go in, have some fun, and yes, thank you, Timothy. Love on Nubs. Nubs is the future of us, and he was most definitely not on Starlight Beacon. I don't care what you say. So go check that out. Absolutely great time. But in the meantime, if you're looking for some great Star Wars content before that comes out, yes, Stephanie, I've been seeing you in the chat. We have some stuff coming out, including this beauty next to me. The High Republic Cataclysm by Lydia Kang is coming out next week, April 4th. No spoilers here. I finished it last week. I am interviewing Lydia Kang tomorrow, and that interview will be out, as well as our written and video interviews, as always, on release day, April 4th. So very excited for y'all to dive into this one. The review embargo is up, so you can go see what people's thoughts are generally on Twitter. Of course, at UTini, we don't do anything till the release day. We just think it's more fun that way and more fair to you. Have time to get the book in your hands. But definitely go check this out. This is what it looks like. This is the back. And just for some of y'all, because I know you like this, it's purple. It's a purple book. Yes. So there you go. If you take the dust jackets off, it's going to be purple. And I'm very excited to bring you the interview and the review next week. Additionally, this is a bit of a surprise. Quest for Planet X, the middle grade novel by Tessa Gratton, also releases next week. According to Mike Seglain on Twitter, you should read that before you read Cataclysm. Now, review copies have not been sent out for Quest for Planet X, so we unfortunately cannot tell you if it's good or not. But if you're going to Barnes & Noble or you're a local indie or Amazon, whatever it may be, and you're picking up Cataclysm and Planet X, we do have the suggestion from those on high to read Planet X first. Do with that what you will. And a consistent thank you and shout out to our awesome folks at our release page. Go to utini.com and the release calendar. It is the most updated release calendar on the internet. Even more than Disney books. I'll say it. We're on it. Thank you guys. Alrighty, before we dive into Bad Batch, as we always do, we like to talk about both of the shows here. But since Bad Batch is the main part of the show, we're doing a flipsy doodle this week. That's a technical term. Sorry about that. Mando Season 3 kept on going. We talked a lot last week about it, and I will own it. I had some criticisms that I levied. We talked about a lot of things we liked, but some things were holding us back a little bit. Corey, you were in chat a bit last week, but would you like to give kind of like a baseline of where you've been on Mando until before episode 4?
Yeah, I've up until wait, what exactly? How do you want me to cover this? What were you saying? You want to talk about the episodes?
Episodes before the most recent one. So before the Foundling episode, up through the Pershing episode.
Yes.
How were you feeling about season 3?
For the first couple episodes of the season, I felt like the dialogue was weak. I mean, everything you guys said in the episode pretty much covered it. Like, I mean, dialogue has been kind of weak. It's been really wooden. I still think it's a mistake to use a baby as a main character. I still think making all the Mandalorians just be super serious and have very few words is bad directing and bad dialogue, and it's hard to tell stories like that. That's where I'm at in generally with the show. I thought the Pershing episode was a cool idea. I thought the acting was, again, incredibly wooden. I hated the popsicles. It was so stupid.
Popsicles!
The popsicle specifically looked really bad. I don't know what was wrong with it. Like, I don't know. The camera like really zooms in on Pershing like the last time he takes a bite of it, and it's so utterly obvious he's just like putting plastic in his mouth. Like there's no like dampness or anything on his lips. Like it just looks like when you're playing with like little kids and they're like making you food at their little fake plastic kitchen and shit, and they like give you a burger and you're like nom 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 nom. Oh, it's so good. Oh yeah, thank you. That's what it was like to me.
Oh my god, that's exactly.
I thought that was
it.
dumb.
Wow.
The other thing that really bothered me about the Pershing episode is the woman character. What was her name?
Katie O'Brien's the actress. I always forget.
Yeah, whatever.
The character.
Exactly. So they literally introduced her character and her name like 45 minutes into the episode, which was super weird. They're just like walking down the tunnel and they're like, "Oh shit, we forgot to introduce this character. We better do
By
that
the way,
right now."
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, I was like, did I just miss her name or something earlier? I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, the concept was fine. I like the fact that Pershing is being set up as a character. That's really cool. This season's just weird, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because of Andor, if it's ruined me again, but I don't know. It's just very strange.
Well, then, on that note, let's
It's
talk
fun.
about some paintball. All right, episode 4.
Oh my god.
The Foundling. Sorry. So this is the episode. Full spoilers here, of course. This episode started out with Mando and Bo-Katan being back with the Mando consort, who were doing big fighting practice of shooting blasters into a water where I think a giant crocodile definitely still lives. And Grogu learned how to play paintball and absolutely cheated at paintball by doing a triple shot when Ragnar McKimmel or whatever he is,
He was down
only did one at a time.
0.
And then the kid got grabbed by a raptor. Bo-Katan flew out with everybody to go get the kid from the raptor, saved kid from raptor, and then came back. And Bo-Katan is like, well, I guess I'm still in the cult. That's what I remember generally.
And they brought back baby raptors.
Brought back baby. Oh yeah, right. They brought back. Now there's baby raptors that are in the caves and such. Because they saved them. Because they're humanitarian Mandalorians. Let's go around.
Okay.
Basic thoughts. Wes, what do you got?
Baby
Basic
raptors,
thoughts.
we don't know that for sure if they saved them. I don't see a lot of food going on around that Mandalorian
That's a
cave,
great point.
by the way. So, I mean, fresh
Oh
meat-
God.
Fresh
Oh
meat's hard to
God.
come
They're
by.
gonna kill him.
I mean, yes, there was the main part of the episode was Foundling got taken by, big dragon raptor thing, got taken away, they got it back. But the fantastic sequence that we saw was the flashback. The flashback.
Oh God. How did I miss
Oh,
that
yeah.
completely? Yes.
Grogu
Okay.
was-
The point of the episode. My
when
God.
Grogu was a even
Thank you.
younger baby, I guess, and he was
Yeah, he
a
was like
young
25 or
Padawan.
something.
Younger baby.
Yeah.
It is young to mid 20s. You know.
Yeah.
It's just gotten his stubble, so he's
Yeah.
been shaven. But yeah, we saw
This whole part.
We saw the emergence of Order 66 and how he got out of there, and then we saw a
Who got him?
return from Ahmed Best, which I was just like, no
Kelleran
way.
Beck, man.
Yes. So that
Yes.
was a fantastic drop there for us. But we saw more live action clone troopers from in the
Yep,
the
actual
Coruscant
people.
Guard, and then I think there was another one.
They
that
look
I
so
couldn't remember.
good.
They look great. I mean, you could
It looks so
so
much better
tell-
than the CGI.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
They
CGI,
look great.
it
They
looks
look
so much
really,
better
really
than
good.
CGI because I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, it
we've
really
had
does.
over a decade to polish that up. But yeah, the live action clone troopers. There's your cosplay winner right there. Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
I know. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. No, yeah. Wow, I cannot believe I totally skipped over that part. Yeah, that was easily the highlight of the episode. I thought it looked fine. Some of that CGI, we don't need to retread it, but getting Ahmed back as Kelleran Beck, canonically, I mean, this has to be one of the best weeks of his whole life. Everyone has embraced him so completely. In the episode, he got to now be the one that gets Grogu back. Like that, he's now such an
right.
important part of Star Wars, and I think everyone cheered when that door opened. I mean, that was
Oh yeah.
one of the highlights.
Yeah, some of these
Definitely.
images though they showed like with Coruscant with the Jedi Temple burning.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked dope.
Yeah.
Coruscant looked incredible. That whole action sequence of the speeders and stuff was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Man. That was just really, really good.
Yep.
That's what's so funny about Mandalorian, I think, and why it seems so weird is because the highs are really, really high and the lows are really, really low.
It's a wild
Like,
show. It's a wild
it
show.
is. That entire action sequence at the beginning when the episode just opens with that. They just walk outside and everybody's like play fighting on this beach and like shooting at what are they shooting at? Like what the hell are they shooting at? They're just like
I don't
shooting into the lake.
I
It
don't
was
know.
so dumb. And when I think I was sort of live tweeting into Slack because I should probably not be allowed to live tweet anything in my life. But I was talking in Slack while I was watching this episode, and when Din leaned over to put the little plastic armrest thing on the plastic Grogu, which is a puppet, I thought I was going to lose my damn mind. I was just like, what is happening? Like it looks like somebody's putting like armor on a teddy bear. Like
It was
and it
very
just-
weird.
I don't-
It was Build-A-Bear like
it's-
crazy.
It totally took me out of the moment. I was just like, what is happening? I was like, is he really gonna fight somebody with like a gun right now? Are they gonna do like back to back and walk 10 paces and turn around and shoot each other? Like
That would have been dope. Oh my
I just
god.
don't know. I just don't know where this plot is going. Like, is Grogu gonna be the Mandalorian? is that gonna be the story? I'm sorry. I
Maybe
can't.
he always
I just
has
can't.
been.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Love the Kelleran Beck stuff.
All right.
Still
To
don't
be
know where it's
positive,
going.
to change gears, change gears briefly because somebody's mentioned to be positive for a second. The fight sequence where they're falling in the sky and fighting that dragon thing was cool as shit.
That was really
dude.
cool.
That
More
was
jetpacks.
so good.
More jetpacks.
I know, more jetpacks, more like shaky cam. That was just incredibly well shot and well done. Like I was just blown away with that action sequence. That was great.
Yeah. All about that. All right. Now let's go into the big event of this week, honestly, which is going to be the Bad Batch Season 2 finale. We are getting a 2-part finale on Wednesday in addition to the Mandalorian episode. Set your alarms early, everybody. If you got to watch before work, it's going to be a long day for all of us. But tonight, I would love for us to really kind of go in depth on this season. We've done these like recaps here and there. We've talked about the tonal whiplash, but I really do think in the last few weeks we've really started to see the plot and the technical prowess of the Bad Batch really kind of come to fruition here. Especially with this last episode, Turning Point, episode 14. So overall, I want to get a kind of a temperature gauge from you guys going into this week. We know the season's been up and down. We've had our favorite episodes that have been incredible. We've had ones we didn't really care for. We've had some kind of middle of the road. how are you feeling going into the finale? And in retrospect, how does the season look now that we've gotten a little more like of the Crosshair plot? We've seen a little more of what the finale is probably going to entail. Did that change anything for you?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say so. And I think we've all been on the same page about this show's main storyline is really good, but you know, it is still, I guess you could still qualify this as a kid show. So they have done what they do with kid shows, which is, you know, filler episodes here and there. It's just hard. It's hard to. That's why I'm excited for this other project that's coming up. This what's it called? The Young
Jedi
thing that we were
Adventures?
talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like that's so obviously a kid show, and like it's hard when planning these types of shows. Like, are we writing it for adults? Because there's definitely some very adult themes in this show.
Oh, like when
Or
he
are we
shoots the
writing
guy
it
in the head
for-
in the first episode of this season?
Yes,
that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and the
Exactly.
torture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The torture. Yeah, exactly. So who's it for? Is the show for kids or is it for adults? Like, I don't know who it's for. And I don't know. Whiplash is the way to put it. But yeah, the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes have been really good and strong. And the Crosshair thing is shaping up. And yeah. Is this the end of the show? Have they said that there's a season 3?
They haven't
I
said,
don't know
but
yet.
I
It doesn't feel like it's the end.
No.
I agree. I think we are unfortunately in that in the Star Wars realm now of we'll keep watching, we'll keep going. Like Andor is the only where Tony Gover is like,
know.
I will kill myself if you make me do another season. He's like, it's 2 seasons, we're going up. Here's the end of the episode. I'll tell you, we're going to the Rings of Kafrene. That's where it ends. I'll tell you. Like he's just like,
I know.
That's
I
the
know.
only.
I know. It's just like
Tony, we love you. We love you so dearly. Other than that, everyone's kind of like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think there's more story to tell.
depends how many Grogu puppets we sell.
Oh, Lord.
God. Well, now with the wrist launch. God. Anyway, Bad Batch.
Now
Bad
with the
Batch.
wrist launcher. Jesus Christ. Yes, Bad Batch. It's shaping up. It really has.
I mean, I think it was wise to kind of end load it with some of the Crosshair stuff if they were going to have to put filler episodes in. I mean, that's kind of strategic, kind of how to bring the audience back in to get them, you know, back in on that actual Crosshair plot to see if he actually turns and all that stuff. But this past episode, the very end, was stolen. The idea was stolen from a 1990s epic Mel Gibson film, Braveheart. He was what is the big bad's name in this? Forgot his got the slick back hair.
Dr. Hemlock.
Dr. Hemlock. The Hemlock is actually a gun you can
Sounds like a
unlock
James
in
Bond
Modern
villain.
It's
Warfare,
also a
but-
poison, Wes, very famously. But yeah, it's also a gun.
but he's just like, he's standing over Crosshair, and he's like, it'll all be over if you just kneel or something, you know. And
Yeah.
he's like, freedom!
And Crosshair yells freedom. I remember that.
But like,
Oh,
and
man.
it's so
Yeah.
cried out to me. This is so Braveheart. But you know, we
Totally.
we got another example of the torture droid. So they bring that in, so it's
Yep.
more
Oh, God.
prevalent than in
Creepy.
episode 4. But they don't actually
creepy.
show the needle going in and where it goes,
Nope.
which is leaves
But
up
you
to
hear it.
imagination. Yeah, so
Uh,
I love
We
that part.
did hear it. That was
Shouldn't have
weird.
loved it, but I loved it.
Yeah. Charles, where are you on this one, and how does the season kind of looking for you going into the finale?
I like this one. There was a couple of weird things that I assume they're going to bring back. Like when Hemlock just walked into the room full of poison gas, I was just like, there's still a lot of gas in there. And then he was just like, I've built up an immunity to my poison.
Yeah.
And
Very
he's doing the
Princess Bride
typical
of him.
villain over-explaining thing, and I was just like, okay, well, they're gonna overload him with this poison or something in the finale, and that's how he goes. Because villains have to die ironically, and Hemlock dying by poisoning. That's just too perfect,
Oh my
right?
God, that'd be great.
So I
I'm into
enjoyed
it.
it. I like Hemlock actually as a character. There's no such thing as a good doctor in the Star Wars universe, so we might as well just make them all
Whoa. Quad paw. Shoot. Shut
We
your
all
mouth.
know. We all know what happened in that surgery.
Listen, Quad Paw did not use any sterile procedure
Exactly.
protocol. All right.
Unwashed.
Man did not even
paws.
wear gloves for spinal surgery. I'm still not over that, dude.
It's traumatizing. He wiped his hands off on his pants before he started.
It's like
No,
freaking MASH.
I like this episode, but I feel the same way that I think we've all already said. I mean, I almost want someone to watch the season and then tell me which episodes I need to watch. That'll work for me. And that might be selfish. Like, I'm glad that all kinds of people can enjoy these shows, probably all different age groups. But I agree with what you said, Corey. Some of this stuff is so dark. I would love to know from the creative team, like, who is the intended audience? Just more so out of curiosity, because there is enough stuff where I'm like, man, I wouldn't want a young kid to watch that necessarily. But of course, that's a judgment call for different parents. And then there's other stuff where I'm like, man, I am going to claw my eyes out if I have to watch them do another mission of the week with Sid. And it's like, so who is this for? It's like, I want to love it. I really do. And I love a lot of the moments. I actually still that really the first episode with Crosshair, I loved the one where he was on the snowy planet and almost freeze to death and shot that guy that sucked. Loved it. Like, those episodes are so good. And those episodes make me remember that the common misconception is exactly that. It's a misconception. Animation is not for just kids shows. It's not just for like little kids stories. Like, it's just a medium, and you can tell these really intense, important stories in that medium. And I think they do it, and then they stop doing it, and then they do it again. And it's just enough to keep me on the line. You know what I mean? But I do think they'll stick the landing with the finale, because they tend to do that. So I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah, it is interesting because you know, like, none of us are in these meetings, but the reality of entertainment business is that is a huge part of how you get financing. And for creatives, it's like, hi, what's your demographic? What are you aiming to do? What numbers do we have to pull from what different types of households? And I do think this is an interesting look at that, where they're like, we want to cast a wide net, and instead of doing a story that kind of covers a lot of bases, they are just kind of doing, this chapter is for this person, this chapter is for this person, this chapter is for this person, this chapter is for this person.
I know.
But again, for I guess good for us, these finale chapters are for us. I mean, this is our aesthetic. This is, the stakes are high. There is violence. There's intensity. There's really good character moments. I think this gets overlooked in animation sometimes, but like, the acting is very good. Like, the voice acting is great, but so is the animators of doing like the subtle movements. Like, Hemlock's always kind of like rubbing his wrist and like doing all these weird little things that just put you off kilter in weird ways. And I'm really enjoying just kind of seeing that evolution, and I think they've really set up something nice. Now, two questions I have for you guys before we get to some predictions on the finale, which is The Summit and Plan 99. Great titles. Hemlock brings up something here that I believe, Wes, I think you mentioned a few weeks ago, that you were like, I don't think we'll ever talk about this again. He's like, I need Omega. She's important.
Yeah.
Which Wes was like, we all forgot that, right? Because they dropped that plot line. And you know what, Wes? They did, but Hemlock did not. So this feels like deja vu like crazy. Why do we think Hemlock needs Omega? Like, what? Like, has all this really been about getting her back at the same point? Is this a side thing? Like, what is this?
I think
he wants Omega because of the Kaminoan that told him that he needed Omega, right? Like, I don't know if Hemlock even himself knows why he needs Omega. I think he just knows that he does.
So I think Hemlock, or he has been doing experiments on the clones. He's been decommissioning them, right? Because he's trying to, wipe them out from the new stormtrooper force. But I think he's finding out he's finding out that he's not finding out the information he's looking for. So he's trying to find like some kind of there's some kind of genetic ambiguities between the clone troopers, Crosshair. Maybe there's something to do with Omega because Omega's a clone, but she looks nothing like any of the other clones. So maybe she's
Yeah.
the missing link that he needs to look for.
Maybe she's
Is-
a Palpatine.
Yeah, is this all going to tie back to
You
Palpatine?
upset me.
Shut the hell up, Eric. You're freaking fired. You can't be on the show anymore. I'm done.
That was it. Oh no, Corey's Wi-Fi is suddenly going out.
Oh no.
No, but you bring up a good point to bring up Palpatine because I mean cloning doesn't stop in the Clone Wars era,
Right.
I mean
Right.
it actually played a really crucial role in the sequel trilogy. Like we know that they were trying to clone Palpatine. All these people are working for Palpatine, so I mean it probably has something to do with that, right?
Yeah, and she was a medical assistant, was she not? When we first met Omega, wasn't she
Yeah.
kind of like
I
assisting
think
in
so.
there? So it could
I
just be
think
knowledge
she's some kind of
based.
like. I think she's some kind of pure gene stuff. I think this is building up to like because he's pitching to what's his name, Tarkin at the end of the episode, right? He's
right.
talking to Tarkin.
Oh yeah, he's got to
So
go
I
on
think that-
Tark Tank and do his pitch.
I know exactly.
It's my new
Wow.
show where you just go
Well
to
done.
Tark.
Man,
Well done.
that was pretty damn good.
Good
actually.
morning, Tark.
Uh,
Today I'm looking for $50,000 in exchange for 2% of my cloning business.
exactly what it is.
He's
I
got
think
more
they're building
hair.
up to kind of like a.
market share currently?
He's got more hair as a cartoon.
He does.
He
looks
does.
really-
His hair's really pointy too. Like, what's up
Yeah,
with those
That's
side
clone-
wing
that's just
things,
Clone Wars
dude?
aesthetics.
He's got that liver spot though.
I
That
know.
thing is always right there. But
it's not been that much time since we saw him in Clone Wars. I don't know why he looks like this.
Hey man, you saw Obama at the end of his presidency. It hits quick, you know.
That's fair. That's fair. I think we're building up to like a genocide type of thing. Is what I was trying to get to. I think he's trying to pitch like we're wasting all our times with this, like because he's an evil scientist and he wants to like push his own research and stuff and push his own curiosity, and his curiosity just happens to be evil. But I think he wants
It's
to.
evil curiosity.
Yeah. I think he wants to try to use his gene therapy, poison, magic to figure out how to kill all the clones, like in one fell swoop. I think that's what they're trying to build to.
Ooh.
Because where are they all? Right? Are we going to witness a mass genocide of clones in this show?
Yeah,
If we are,
um,
it's really dark.
That is.
You know what they
super
could
dark.
do?
It
What
is
about that
dark.
bar? That clone bar that we always go back to.
Yeah,
Like they always go and
Uh-huh.
hang out there, and I mean they're taking them all to Tantus. I mean and that's another part of this episode that rocked. Freaking Echo and the squad. I forgot that guy's name. It was like flamethrower or something.
Yeah, that
like-
was badass.
Yeah, like
All those different clone.
boarding
commanders and
that
shit, that was
ship
awesome.
and breaking them out. I was like, hell yeah, this rocks. This is the show.
Yeah,
we
they called that ship something cool too. It was like a leech something, like a leech pod or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. He called it something cool.
Great names in this episode. Really great names in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're like, okay, we're helping them all, and then I love they're actually bringing them back to Coruscant with that senator who's kind of giving them safe haven and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I love that plot line. Again, they're just building that out, which to our earlier point does make me think we're probably gonna have a season 3 of some sort. Just because I don't think that plot line is enough to just start up, have a couple episodes about, and then leave. That being said, if like Plan 99 is the Order 66 of clones, because what's 66 upside down? It's 99. So like, is this possibly the eradication of the clones and why we don't see any clones anymore
Yeah.
at all
I
in the
think
OT?
so. I think that's what we're building to, and Tantus is just
God.
involved in that somehow, like because the ultimate goal is to clone Palpatine, right? And
Right.
give him an immortality. That's the ultimate goal. So,
Ooh,
I don't know.
Jesus.
There's some really dark stuff happening, I think, with this scientist guy, and
Yeah.
I just hope it resolves in a satisfying way. Where like
Yeah.
I hope there is a plausible explanation for what happened to all the clones. Because
I think
that
we
is
just
the
learned that
ultimate thing.
science is evil and we should not fund it. Because this is what happens when you fund
Especially-
science.
Especially vaccines. We don't like
Yeah, they're
those.
bad. We get it.
That's right.
Anyway,
That's
yeah,
It's not
I
true.
think,
Go get vaccinated.
Go get vaccinated. But it is interesting though. You know, I thought a little bit about that, but I think you're right. Like going the really hard science angle, because that's more like hard science fiction than Star Wars sometimes gets. It's a little away from the fantasy. It's really towards the sci-fi nature of it. You know, what are we gonna do? It's a big societal question as well. Like, clearly society kind of forgot about the clones, so I think there's a lot of stuff moving here. Do you guys think that this new like safe haven planet that the Bad Batch has been on, is that going to be brought in? Do you think that the Bad Batch leaves? Was it Pabu? Is that it?
Yeah, I think.
Are they going to leave there?
I think the
regroup?
Empire is going to show up and kick everybody's ass, and
They usually
like,
do.
It's just, I know that's what's going to happen. I will say, since you brought up that planet, the whole idea of doing a massive natural disaster like that was really cool. I think.
Yes,
Like,
that works
I don't know.
quite well.
I don't know. I don't know that we've really seen something like that before.
Yeah, I mean,
like a tsunami.
Mustafar
like
is the
done with the
closest,
earthquake,
but like, yeah, you know.
it's very much inspired by like anime, and there's a lot of like
Yeah.
tsunamis and stuff because it's Japanese, because
Mhm.
tsunamis in Japan and Asia countries have been such a big deal, and like that was cool though. That was really well done with the water receding. Like they did it right. I don't know, something. It was just unique. I feel like we got to
Yeah.
see this big natural disaster. Also, they have the worst freaking luck ever though, that they just
They're
land on
for
this
like a day.
utopian planet, and they're there for a day, and then this destroys the whole damn city or something. I
It's
mean,
the worst. I hate when
sucks.
that happens. I hate when that happens. Gosh, yeah. There's so many ways they can go with it, and I think this season is going to be remembered in a few different ways. Again, I think the finale can always change it, right? Like finales to shows, final acts of movies really do kind of define how you remember things, and I think that's going to be interesting in the future because like we're getting a Bad Batch panel at Celebration, so they're gonna probably talk about the season. I wouldn't think they'd announce anything immediately, but the overall community's idea towards a finale really can kind of shift the idea of what the whole show's been. And like even just looking back at the past, like the season 1 finale was Camino. Like that was the finale, and we like that was one of the greatest moments of Star Wars animation history. You know, and I think there are some parts of that season that didn't work for us. But you asked me what Bad Batch season 1 was about. That's what I'm going to go to. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the destruction of Camino. Well, when I was going through the in the beginning of the episode is when they leave that planet. I could have sworn that I heard Gregor's voice in one
It
of
was.
those clones. It was Gregor.
It was
Okay,
Gregor,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes,
He was on
okay.
the ship with Echo and them.
So I figured like that to that.
Yeah,
word.
that's him.
I remember that voice, and I was like, oh, that's totally Gregor. So we
Get
got-
on the
we got
ship!
Gregor,
Or whatever
and
the hell
then
he sounds like.
Who's the other one that's with him in Rebels? Is it Wolf?
In Rebels,
Wolf
it's
is the-
it's Wolf, yeah.
Okay.
In Rebels.
Okay, so there's that trio. So okay,
Yeah. Yeah, and let me see, because Wolf wasn't in here yet.
not yet, right?
It
But, yeah,
was.
Gregor's voice is kind of hard to miss. So I was like, I know
Yeah.
I heard that right. So okay, good.
Yeah.
At least we're bringing these main characters that we've seen in prior animations or prior shows back into the full story. So I like that.
Yeah. Oh, and we didn't mention, they saved Hauser, who a hot clone from last season. He was.
Doogie?
Right.
Yeah. Captain Hauser from last season. Like, they are doing a good Dookie. Yeah, you're right. The big guy himself.
Another doctor, right, Corey?
Another. There you go. He can come and help you out.
Oh man,
Let's
Charles, do you
go
ever
through
get
my
called
window, you
Doogie
weirdo.
by old people? I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
It's the worst.
You guys get called
Yeah,
Doogie Howser
okay.
in clinic all the time?
Yeah, I had to grow a beard for this reason, and
That's what-
Oh yeah, it makes you look so much older.
it was shut the hell
exactly it.
up. Borrow some of that grease you have in your hair, and then I can really shape up like an old man, Wes.
All right.
Touche.
Well, so overall then, we're at it. We're also conceptually at an interesting point in Star Wars television. And I want to add this chat real quick because next week we're doing Battle Scars of the Roundtable. The week after that we're doing the Celebration recap. So we won't be talking about these shows in depth really for a bit. Right now with Mandalorian and Bad Batch, we're in a little more of a mercurial state. I feel like, at least our show. Everyone has their different vibes and things like that. I think there's been a lot more waves in these shows for the four of us than in past seasons, I think is pretty safe to say. For each of us, what do you think both shows can do individually to really end on high notes and bring us back all around? Bad Batch obviously has the 2-part finale. They're on a higher trajectory, which we like. Mando's still a little bit up and down, and we're about I think halfway through. There's 8 total. We're through 4 of 8. Charles, I want to start with you first. What are you looking forward to, and what can they do to really kind of end Star Wars TV on a high point as we go into the summer?
I mean, for me, it's just I really need clear. In retrospect, I need to see a clear vision and a clear story and see it executed. So whether the point is character development or whether the point is some sort of plot development, or ideally both, I really want to see how each episode led towards that thing getting achieved, right? And right now, I'm having a little bit of trouble with that, with the Bad Batch for a lot of the one-off episodes, and with some of the more recent Mando stuff. But again, I think you can stick the landing because we've watched hundreds of Star Wars things. We've read hundreds of Star Wars stories. It's hard to still surprise us, right? But they can do it. So if they're building to something that maybe we don't know about, maybe we can't see, I mean, a big reveal would go a long way towards towards helping me out, you know. And
Luke
maybe
in episode 2
clarifying-
or season 2.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of clarifying, hey, this is what all this was for. This is actually, you know, you thought we were building to A, but actually we were building to B this whole time. Like I would welcome something like that, because if it is as clear cut as it seems to be, then I might feel myself, you know, I don't know, a little bit disappointed. And I hope that's not the case. So I think I'm looking for something really big to happen, something really unexpected to happen that will kind of reshape and launch things into further seasons, since it seems like that is the direction that we're going.
Love that. Corey, what you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat that we need some sort of consistent feeling. Like for the rest of the major story, right? I know it's like these TV shows are supposed to kind of go up and down, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of the Star Wars TV, maybe it's Andor that's made us feel this way. A lot of Star Wars TV has just not had this as a consistent story to be told, I feel like. And I don't know. I do, you know, I've said this before. I do wonder if we are sort of suffering a little bit from, you know, a lack of creative vision amongst more than a couple of people. Like, you know, Filoni and Favreau have sort of driven the boat for a good while now, and the patterns have emerged, I guess you could say. So I think Ahsoka is really going to be the big telling thing. If they don't pull that show off, you know,
a lot of pressure.
I may start making the argument that maybe these guys should be doing something else for a little bit. You know, let's let somebody else have the reins, because I don't know. I don't know that Star Wars storytelling has been amazing at telling the plot. What is the plot of Bad Batch exactly? Because every single episode, we get this Hunter looking off into the distance going, I don't know what we should be doing. Like, are you sure, bro? Because we've had like 2 seasons to figure this shit out, and you're not any closer than we were when we first started. So I don't know.
I will say there are like enough little breadcrumbs that, I mean, I am hopeful and I'm optimistic, actually, because, like, you know, the whole where is Grand Admiral Thrawn, right, with the Ahsoka introduction, and then the moment with the Purrgil, like, early on in this season, and it's just like, okay, were you just throwing a bone to people, or like, is that leading where we kind of think it's leading? And if it is, I just hope that there's payoff in this actual show, because I think the danger that's happening with this whole like MCU thing that they're kind of going towards is like, yeah, we'll throw, you know, a little thing in here, a little thing in here, but you're not going to actually, you know, see that until the finale of Ahsoka in another whole season of TV. You know what I mean? So there's got to be something important in each individual season that leads to that big thing that makes all of it feel worth it, you know?
Yeah, tell the story because it needs to be told. And I think that's like, when you read a great book or see a great movie or see a great show, it's like, this story needed to be told for whatever reason, and we made it, and great, had a good time. And as the streaming wars and things continue, we are just kind of pumping out content to pump out content because everyone makes more money, and then the brand continues. Obviously, that is a part of it. But I think there is a balance that we're trying to discover here. Wes, what do you got? And then I'm going to wrap us up and give our big reveal from earlier in the show. I just got to a message. So
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I
oh,
can't
shoot.
agree more with what you guys said. I would love for the last 2 episodes of the Bad Batch to continue on from what we saw with Crosshair, and I think they're going to do that. I also would like, to get at least something. If they're going to do a season 3 of the Bad Batch, they at least got to give us some kind of clue of why Omega is so special. Or, I mean, maybe she's not. Maybe she's just a clone. I want some kind of definitive answer, and saying that for any kind of Star Wars content is not really conducive to bringing in more content. But I'm kind of looking for some continuous plot lines or something from the last episode that we saw, the Crosshair arc that we get. We're kind of leapfrogging episodes on these Crosshair episodes, and we had a really long leapfrog, I guess, in the middle of the season. But that's kind of what I'm looking towards. And I mean, even with the Mandalorian, like, I don't know where they're going with that. They're gonna have to do a big reveal to kind of get me steered back into it, or do we just get, Bo-Katan is just part of the crew now, like she is part of the way now, but I don't think she believes it. So we'll see.
Yep. Echoing what you guys all said, all I want to add on is that I think whatever story is going to be told, I just need it to be told with craft.
Right.
I think very simply if the dialogue is good, the animation is good, the lines are written well, and the acting is good, I'm in. Pretty simply, like, I don't need. If you're not going to serve a larger narrative and do an episode where you're separated from it, that's okay. If all the craft is really, really good, I'm all in. And I think the end of the season of the Bad Batch has been the best they've done all season. That's the time to peak. And I hope these 2 episodes really hit us like the last one did. I don't need it to be death and destruction, but I would like to have a huge emotional catharsis. With Mando,
they're not reuniting. They're not reuniting.
you don't think so?
No. I think they might get Crosshair back.
Probably not.
But again, I said this at the beginning of this season. I think if they get Crosshair back, they're losing somebody else. I think I predicted Hunter was going to die at the beginning of the season, but now with this whole Omega storyline, I'm thinking, what if Hemlock just gets Omega?
That'd be, you know what? I could see it. And again, if there's a reason for it and it's exciting, I'm all in. For Mando, I'm really hoping that the wooden stuff for me just kind of picks up and gets good. So we'll find out. But right now, before we go, there's a very important announcement to make because an hour has passed and the results are in, everyone. The Youtini Sudden Death Book Madness bracket. First of all, a huge shout out to everyone who just jumped down and voted within an hour. 327 votes total, which is pretty good for 1 hour, considering most of these go for a whole day. Separated by 23 votes. So still very close. The winner that is moving on to the next round is the Han Solo trilogy by AC Crispin.
Excellent.
Well done. Well done. Very fun.
About me.
Oh, we're all very
Oh,
stoked
man.
about it,
That's
obviously,
funny.
but great stuff. Yeah, thank you everyone for voting. Thanks for hanging out with our first ever live results. Everyone listening later, keep voting in the brackets. Of course, we're getting so close to the end. Keep it going. Get those Twitters, get those Discords, get everything shared around to make sure that your favorite wins. But until then, we're going to keep watching these shows. Next week, we are back with Jedi Battle Scars, the full roundtable. Make sure you read the book. It's going to be full spoilers. We're going to go through the whole book. And then the week after that, we're recapping Star Wars Celebration. Because Celebration will have happened. We are that close, everyone, to the huge slew of new Star Wars announcements. It's kind of surreal to even think of it. So, all right, guys, it was good to be back with all of us. Look at us. Look at it. Hey, look at us. It's good to be back. Corey, I can't wait to see your next hotel room background.
It's gonna look
For
some
next time. They all do, don't they? Hey, beige.
They all
fun.
look they all look the same. Yeah.
How adventurous. So to everyone else, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Because that will do it. for this week's episode of The Living Force. If you support us on Patreon, thank you so much. Be sure to stay tuned for your latest episodes of Star Wars Archives and join in the Utini Cosplay event by hitting the Utini Cosplay Discord channel and hashtag Utini Cosplay on all your socials starting April 1st. A special thank you to Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Carl Sander, and Zach W. on our Jedi High Council, and James T, Ashley Ingalls, and Chris Carrizo on our Alliance High Command. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Eric Eilerson. Corey is at Corey M. Helton. Charles is at C. Hankel. Wes is at Boss Wes. A special thank you to Matt Davenport, our amazing editor, Ryan, our graphic designer extraordinaire, and Wes, our producer and community manager. Thank you to Corey, Charles, and Wes for potting with me tonight. Thanks to all of you for hanging out. And as always, may the Force be with you.